the certificate of the federation. It's a more serious issue than financial, because we appropriated the money, they have the money, and it is a governance issue. Laura? Still on communication? Yes, Laura?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I walked in while you were speaking about sports, and I want to take this opportunity to thank you. This afternoon, I ably represented you. I want to thank you for the support you have offered to one of the girls who is a swimmer and is a swimmer with disability. She has one arm. Thank you for breaking the stereotypes. Thank you for showing the world that people with disabilities can be champions in sports. Madam Speaker, I ably represented you, and I presented the ticket that you have offered to her, together with her mother, because she's a minor, so she can't travel alone. I want to thank you so heartily for that motherly and kind gesture, and I want the world to know that that girl is a champion and she's coming back home as a champion. Thank you, Madam Speaker. May God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tinka, Macho, Tim. Members, free sitting. I've seen some with a very heavy.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I raise to thank you so much for putting this matter of human rights on the agenda of this Parliament. We who sit this side of the House,
Honorable members,
we have been looking very ugly.
Propua, first seat. I don't want us to discuss anything on human rights. We will debate on human rights tomorrow. It is going to be on the order paper. Let the report come. We'll look at it as it comes. Let's not speculate. And I know you're one of the senior leaders in this House, and you know very well that we don't debate in anticipation. But you can tell us something.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. Certainly, I don't have the contents, and I would not divulge any contents of what will be presented tomorrow, because I don't have the statement. I was only saying thank you very much, because we are looking very ugly with this side. People are asking, where is the other side in the House?
Honorable Tinker, I have not seen anybody ugly on this side. Everybody looks handsome and beautiful. And Honorable Tinker, you are the most handsome man.
No. You know, I did literature at A level, and I'm using the word ugly to mean we are not looking nice. In the
Honorable
those
Tinker,
who advocate for human rights.
Honorable Tinker, let's leave that. We'll handle it tomorrow. Nobody looks ugly. The issue is, if you have a problem and you say, give me this time, we will give you, even if it is any other person. But the fact is, the report is coming tomorrow on the floor. We will discuss it.
Much obliged, the Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Macho?
The
Madam
only
Speaker,
issue that I wanted to raise,
Madam Speaker,
on top of that, is whether the other side that walked out is going to be here tomorrow.
Which side? Honorable Tinker, which side walked out? Which side walked out? I didn't see anybody walking out. Me, I've never seen anybody walk out. I have never seen anybody walk out.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, this is the most, I would say, beautiful and handsome house of legislation of the Republic of Uganda. And I'm happy that everybody is in the house, including the whip of FDC.
There's also, but I
Honorable
have the
Sivambi.
Attorney General,
We have,
Honorable Katuntu.
we have the Attorney General, and we have Honorable Ebwalu, one of the senior leaders of FDC. Everybody is in the house today. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I want to appreciate in your communication. You did really give government support to come tomorrow and give a submission concerning the challenge that we have been having. But my question comes, up to when will you be awakening the ministers? I therefore pray that it is high time for our dear president to reshuffle and to reshuffle his cabinet and give some of those members propositions to become active. Because all the time when you don't call ministers to come and give submissions, they don't come. They don't come at all. Madam Speaker, I believe that there is fatigue in the cabinet. There is need of shake-up so that we can have an active cabinet to deliver the manifesto of the National Resistance Movement.
Honorable, can I have order? Honorable members, honorable members. Honorable members, the issue of the reshuffle was not part of my communication. And the president we have is a very able person who knows his own people. He knows his ministers. So if that's what you're advising him, I hope you don't need a slot there.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for your communication. Isaac Otim Giupadire County. Right Honourable Speaker, last year, 2022-2023, we actually allocated about 48 billion towards to the National Council of Sports. 47? No, it was raised to actually 48. Yeah, at that time.
47.
47, thank you. And there was a time actually they were facing a budget suppression, and this House stood very strong to make sure that the budget for the National Council of Sports is not actually reduced. And on top of that, about 6 billion out of that budget was set aside by the National Council of Sports in order for the different federations to participate in international competitions. So when we hear today that actually the She Cranes is failing to participate in Botswana, then it brings a challenge. And yet as Parliament, we did our part on that ground.
I don't know whether we are all in this house, whether we are all hearing what we are saying. We are saying it is not a financial matter. It's beyond financial.
Yes, it is part of...
Madam Speaker, I have got information that the certificate for the She Cranes as a team
For the federation
has not been cancelled. But the certificate which has been cancelled is a certificate of Uganda Netball Federation for gaps which involve accountability issues. And Madam Speaker, the She Cranes, according to National Council of Sports, will not participate in Botswana, not because of the certificate, but because teams pulled out. And the World Netball Federation, together with the body which is now managing the Netball Federation, called the Normalization Body, deemed it unfit for the other now a few teams which have remained, a few members of the teams which have remained to go to Botswana for their technical reasons. But the She Cranes will go to London in January, and they will also go to Wales in January. They have 2 international matches in January. So the operations of the She Cranes have not been hampered in any way. The She Cranes will continue playing. But the Uganda Netball Federation is being discussed with the World Netball Federation and the teams of National Council of Sports and the Ministry of Sports, so that the certificate for the Uganda Netball Federation will be revived. because as of now, it is clear that it is cancelled for technical reasons involving accountability. So that is the information, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Now that will require us to get a report from PAC on the investigation on the federation, Netball Federation. So PAC should present that report. Next item.
Item 3.
There's a procedural matter.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, with respect to the Vice President, in the same spirit of sports, Right Honourable Speaker, when the National Council of Sports revoked the certificate, it meant that the Uganda National Netball Federation is prevented from organizing any international representation. That means they cannot organize anything. Now, Right Honourable Speaker, the battle that the Vice President knows is hampering because there is an ad hoc committee which has said it's not sure whether they will be in a position to organize the games in January, where Uganda is to play England, New Zealand, and Australia. So, Right Honourable Speaker, I would request through your office to be procedural right for the President, Right Honourable, for the President to commit on the microphone that Uganda is going to participate in January.
Honourable members, before we have the Vice President commit, let's get a report from the Minister of Sports. That will inform this House on the decision we shall take, and we'll need that report tomorrow on the floor. Clerk, put it on the order paper. Let's have a report tomorrow. Yes, procedure.
Right Honourable Speaker, the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs was given a task on 23rd of May this year to deliver the National Legal Aid Bill to this House for discussion. To date, nothing has happened, and yet I'm hearing another bill is going through the same committee. Do we still have a committee on legal, or it is gone? I would love to find out whether it's procedurally proper for us to continue proceeding as though everything is normal when totally things are appearing to be abnormal.
Honourable Sailo, we have a very able legal committee headed by none other than Honourable Rwakojo and deputized by Councillor Yusuf Mutembule, with all the brains, legal brains in this House. If the legal bill has not come forth, then we must first investigate why. But the chairperson has a reason as to why. Chair, can you give us information? Boss, Honourable Sailo, this is not Kumi municipality that you just go and make noise in the middle of the road.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for your kind words regarding my committee. The last time it came up here, the Right Honourable Deputy Speaker was in the chair. And when he asked about it, I informed him that we were supposed to have a meeting between you, him, and Honourable and myself. And that's the position up to date.
So you didn't have a meeting?
No, we didn't. You were not here that time. She's been on leave. Easy.
Silo. If a meeting is supposed to take place, then we organize for a meeting and resolve these issues. No, don't update me because I'm the one to chair the meeting. So I am going to invite you for a meeting on Monday and we resolve that issue. We'll have a meeting with the legal, but that does not stop us from processing the bill of tomorrow. Honourable members, in the public gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation of speakers and deputy speakers of Kirihura district, led by the district speaker. Honourable says, you're most welcome. Please stand up, all of you. They are represented by Honorable Wilson Kajwenge, Honorable Tayewa Herbert. Where is Herbert? Honorable Giovannis Tino Businje. You have very, very good leaders from that area, very capable, and bring them back. Thank you. Next item.
Item 3, laying of papers, report on the opening of new areas, Lake Yoga, Hoima, and Kadam Moroto basins for petroleum activities.
There is a procedural matter.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, in May this year, this Parliament passed the Employment Amendment Bill, and there is a timeline within which the President is supposed to actually consider this bill and either send to it, or if he has reservations, he sends the bill back. Now that we have the Vice President here, would it not be procedure right for us to be updated as to why the President has actually held this bill beyond the stipulated time? Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Madam, when we process a bill, the person who assents to the bill is the President of the Republic of Uganda. It does not go through the office of the President. It goes direct to His Excellency, the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. So the Vice President may not be aware of that bill that we sent, but the person to respond to that should be the Attorney General, because he's the one who is the legal advisor of the country. Yes, honorable members, next item.
Item 3, laying of papers, report of the opening up of new areas, Lake Yoga, Hoima, and Kadam Moroto basins for petroleum activities.
Honorable members, last week, a matter arose about the ongoing mineral exploration activities in parts of eastern and northern Uganda, to which the minister undertook to make a report, and somebody made an allegation that there is an aeroplane moving around. I think that was made by Daudi. There is an aeroplane moving around the whole area, and we needed to know what is happening, and the minister is supposed to give us a report to that effect. Honorable Minister, and this is pursuant to Rule 31 of the Rules of Procedure.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, if I say this statement, those planes are usual planes which go to do reconnaissance to find out using aerial surveys to see the ground and see what could be available so that we people are told for future development. Having said that, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I have to lay these papers, and the purpose of this statement is to submit to Parliament a detailed report on Lake Yoga, Hoima, and Moroto Kadam frontier basins, and report on evaluation and impact assessment studies undertaken in areas to be opened for petroleum activities. So the report here, reporting what those planes were looking for. This submission is in accordance with sections 47, subsection 5, and 47, subsection 6 of the Petroleum Exploration, Development and Production Act 2013, also referred to as the Upstream Act. At this sitting of Parliament, I hereby lay on the floor 3 evaluation reports on the areas, that is Lake Yoga, Oima, and Moroto, Kadam frontier basins, to be opened up for petroleum activities. So if any of you wants to go and do some activities there, exploration, you apply, you are free to go. 3 reports of impact assessment and studies, a detailed report on the areas to be opened. And these reports are right honorable here, and they are not simple to lay. I have to carry them almost on my head. I beg to lay.
Can you read the titles of your reports? Which report are you laying? One by one. And honorable members, the reports are informative. They will be deposited in the library and you go and look at them.
Yeah, we just bring one. Bring them. Okay, remove them. Yeah. These are evaluation reports. No, it should be like that. These are the evaluation reports of different areas which for exploration. This one is for Kadam Basin, and also it has a big book. Hello, come and assist me. The Kadam Moroto Basin. This one, this is 2. Then the title is Petroleum Exploration, Development and Production Activities of the area. These are
Honorable Minister.
Yes.
The one you're calling a big book.
Yeah.
You say it is an impact assessment on the basin proposed for petroleum activities for Moroto Kadam Basin, and the origin is from the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development. No, you read it the way I'm saying.
You want to make? I thought I would compete. I would read the other one. Bring the big one. This one, the big one here. It is impact assessment of the new basins proposed for petroleum activities. This is Moroto Kadam Basin.
Thank you. You beg to lay?
I beg to lay.
Thank you.
This other one here, impact assessment of the new basins proposed for petroleum activities. This is Lake Yoga Basin. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Then this big one again is impact assessment of the new basin proposed for petroleum activities. This is Oima Basin. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
These are evaluations of the same, it is reports of evaluation of the same areas.
You read them?
Okay, let me also do this. This one is evaluation of preliminary data and the hydrocarbon potential of the Kyoga Basin. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
This is evaluation of preliminary data and hydrocarbon potential for the Oima Basin. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
This is now evaluation of the preliminary data and hydrocarbon potential of the Moroto Kadam Basin. I beg to lay. This one is, that is a report on the areas to be opened up for petroleum activities, all combining that a simple report on them all. I beg to lay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Chairman Sweat.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise on Rule 31 and 32. Wouldn't it be procedurally right, Madam Speaker, for the title of the report to capture the two basins in Elgon, Kadam Basin, then Kadam and Moroto Basins? That would be the title that would be appropriate for this. You know, this is a political question, both political and pride as well of the communities.
Honorable Chairman Sweat, the title of these areas are determined by the geographical coverage of the Minister of Energy. It is not the local way you say this is a Bay region, this is Elgon, and what. There is a way Minister of Energy scientifically makes it. So that is okay. Yes, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member.
Right, Honorable Speaker, you are really right. These are determined by the geology of the area. It was determined even long ago, the way they were seeing the continuation of those areas. And these ones, the small districts who are created now, are being found to be within that basin. So we don't change the basin, we can change administrative units. The basin is one.
Thank you. Mapendus.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, on 16th of last month, I raised a matter of national importance in regards to how the oil districts are being treated. And I was particular on how Nuaya district has been deliberately left out from all the benefits. Right Honourable Speaker, the Prime Minister directed the Minister of Energy to urgently have a meeting with the leaders from Acholi sub-region. So issues to do with the benefits and how the oil districts are being treated can be harmonized. To this day, Right
Honourable Martin, how is that related to the laying of papers?
Right Honourable Speaker, it's procedural.
Can we handle that on Thursday?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Prime Minister's time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 4, statements by ministers. Item 4.1, statement by minister on commemoration of World AIDS Day, 1st December 2023.
Honourable Ministers, as you are aware, 1st December is a World AIDS Day, and this is a global time for reflection on the HIV/AIDS-related stigma. The Minister is here to present a report, and that is pursuant to Rule 52(1). So the Minister will present a report. I got an apology from the main Minister, and Honorable Chofa will be the one to present the report. Honorable Chofa.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members.
Yes, yes.
Honorable Speaker, I am concerned that the person who is coming to read the report is totally not known to me. And I see like there's a stranger in the house. Is it not? Is it in order? Is it in order? Is it in order? For a stranger to come and stand before us, I don't know the person totally. Right, Honorable Speaker, I don't know this person.
Honorable members, it depends on how you define a stranger. Honorable Kabuye Chofa is a member of Parliament and is a minister. It's just because he's an ex-official, But it is also because you, Silas, you are never in the house. Honorable Chofa.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. A statement on the commemoration of World AIDS Day.
Maybe for the benefit of those people who are always never in the house, just make a mention of your name and your ministry.
Guidance, Honorable Speaker. My name is Kabuye Chofa. You prefer calling me Chofa Togabye. I'm the Minister of State for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs. Good enough, I'm very known to Honorable Tinka Simile. That's why he even knows my baptism name as Joseph. A statement on the commemoration of World AIDS Day, 1st December 2023. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, Uganda has made tremendous progress in combating the HIV and AIDS epidemic over the last 10 years, not mentioning the previous years. Right Honorable Speaker, currently Uganda has an estimated number of 1.4 million people living with HIV, of which 1.2 million people are on treatment as per the estimates and statistics from Ministry of Health. The country has registered a 65% decline in AIDS annual-related deaths. That is from 37,000 in the year 2016 to 17,000 in the year 2022. However, Right Honorable Speaker, despite all that, new HIV infections, especially recorded by the year 2022, stood at 52,000. And the prevalence had dropped from 7.3% in 2011 to 5.1% last year. Honorable Speaker, it should be noted that the regions have variations in HIV prevalence, and this therefore calls all of us for a multi-pronged approaches in addressing the HIV response. In spite of the progress made above, there are still challenges, especially HIV infections occurring among young women and girls. About 1,000 persons get infected with HIV every week. For example, infections among young people aged between 15 to 24 years accounted for 37% of all the new HIV infections in the year 2021. And I believe this was during the lockdown, with the new infections occurring 3 times more among the young girls compared to the boys in the same period. And about 326 people die due to AIDS-related ailments. Right Honorable Speaker, the drivers of new infections include multiple sexual partnerships, sexual and gender-based violence, negative social culture norms and values like early marriages and widow inheritance, transactional sex, income inequality and poverty, high level of school dropout, stigma and discrimination, inequality in access to prevention, care and treatment services. Right Honorable Speaker, concerted efforts by all stakeholders are required to address these challenges I've mentioned. And Right Honorable Speaker and members, you may know or recall that each year on 1st December, Uganda AIDS Commission, which is domiciled under the Office of the President, mobilizes partners at national and subnational level to observe and participate in HIV AIDS advocacy events. Key among them is the World AIDS Day. Well aligned to the presidential fast track initiative for ending HIV/AIDS as a public health threat in Uganda by year 2030, and mainstreaming HIV for epidemic control. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the above initiatives aims to ensure that nobody is left behind. It promotes increased focus on provision, effective interventions of the HIV/AIDS response, and addresses prevailing gaps in coverage of the key services in the country. Right Honorable Speaker and members, currently Uganda, like any other countries globally, is undergoing the post-COVID pandemic recovery and effects. The impact of COVID-19 were immense across the country. These included disruption of social services in education, health, livelihood in general, a rise in teenager pregnancy, increase in gender-based violence across the country, donor transitioning, and budget cuts from HIV services to other interventions. All these have had significant impact on attaining the presidential fast-track goals of ending AIDS by year 2030 in Uganda. This therefore escalated the HIV infections among especially the young people across the country. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the Global World AIDS Day 2023 theme is Let Communities Lead. It calls on each of us to do all we can to individually and collectively to tackle challenges which are holding back progress in ending AIDS. So the national theme for this year is ending AIDS by 2030, keeping communities at the center. With the 2030 target in sight, it is critical for everyone to reflect on their individual and collective responsibility towards ending AIDS in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, the objective of this statement is to inform you and seek your support towards the commemoration of World AIDS Day that will be held on 1st December at Rakai. So the national commemoration will be held in Rakai District, Chibale Playgrounds. Honorable members, as a country, we always commemorate this day to take stock of achievements in the fight against HIV and AIDS. And we dedicate more efforts to the fight against this pandemic. Every year, Uganda joins the rest of the world, like I've mentioned, to commemorate this day. And His Excellency the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has since the early 1980s spearheaded the fight against HIV and AIDS in the country, which has resulted in him winning various accolades at the continental and global levels. Right Honorable Speaker, in June 2017, His Excellency the President launched the Presidential Fast Track Initiative to end AIDS as a public health threat in Uganda by 2030. Since then, the country has registered many achievements like I've mentioned above. It is therefore critical to have increased and consistent sensitization of the public about the prevalent risks of new HIV infections and what an individual needs to do in order to mitigate the risk. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, commemoration of this day provides a strategic opportunity for all of us engaging the public at national and subnational levels. This is timely because of the high social interactions across the country, where some people tend to indulge in irresponsible sexual behavior, thus acquiring HIV, AIDS. Right Honorable Speaker, the Office of the President will provide oversight to Uganda AIDS Commission actually we shall continue providing oversight to ensure that community sensitization is intensified as part of the commemoration activities. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, as I conclude, I would wish the House to receive my prayers, which are mainly to inform you and the honorable members on the following. One, that Cabinet has agreed that the World AIDS Day takes place in Lakai District in the Central Region. Two, that the preparations for the commemoration of the World AIDS Day 2023 have already commenced. Note that the World AIDS Day will be commemorated on the Friday, 1st December, under that theme, ending AIDS by 2030, whereby we are keeping communities at the center. And three, as national leaders, you come out to support preparations for the commemoration of World AIDS Day and to relay the HIV messages across the country as national leaders in order to increase the HIV awareness and advocacy. Four, to participate in the commemoration of the World AIDS Day. I will feel all of you. I will welcome you in Lakai on Friday, this Friday actually. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, to support HIV financing, since the funding partners have significantly reduced HIV funding in the country. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. And we've seen your prayers. I wouldn't want to say they are misguided prayers. Actually, they should be like you are informing us. It's not a prayer because you've already decided. So you don't need our approval to do that. So you don't inform us that this is what we've decided, but not what you want us to allow you to do. Thank you. Honorable Minister, we had what was supposed to come in this week, injectable ARVs. Can we have a debate of this statement together with the one of injectable ARVs? Honorable Minister Obua, Government Chief Whip. What was supposed to come as a preceding items for this week?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Yes, there is that plan under the Ministry of Health to start injectables for HIV. And I think it will start around February of next year because we are preparing those who need it because there are people who are already on...
Honorable Minister, this week we are supposed to discuss a paper on injectable ARVs. That's what I'm saying, that as you bring your paper, let's discuss it together with the paper, with the what has been presented.
Most obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. We shall bring the paper on Thursday.
Okay, thank you.
Item 4.2.
Mogole, you're most welcome. I am happy to see the Mogole, the newest Mogole. That one. You first say a word. First greet the members. Mogole, you're welcome.
You didn't come. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the compliment, and thank you, honorable members. Mogole is a newlywed person, but the Quran has prescribed unto us. In the laws of this nation, we have marriage under the Marriage Act, the Hindu and the Mohammedans.
we profess the religion of Islam, and it's an option to us. It's not a must, it's not a command, but it's an option that is left unto us, that for those that can do equity and those that can manage, that indeed can handle four, the door is open. I would like to thank you all for your prayers. People are asking me of the number. The number is not your concern, just know the number is a private matter, but just know that there is still another slot open. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Medi. For those who are asking number what, there is a slot. Honorable members in the public gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation of Alur Zombo Connect Youth and Dirber Women Group from Zombo District, and they are represented by Honorable Esther Afoyo-Chan, the Commissioner, and Honorable Songa Bicha Lawrence, and Honorable Kumu Gabriel. You're most welcome. Please stand up. That is the team from Zombo. You're most welcome. And thank you so much for coming to this house to be with your very good members of Parliament. Thank you. And bring them back. They are very good members. Visha, make sure that you support our people, and they must bring you back. Next.
Item 4.2, statement by Minister on the status of land owned by government institutions across the country.
Honorable members, you'll recall on Wednesday, 15th November 2023, during a debate on statement from the Minister of State for Disability Affairs on commemoration of International Day of Persons with Disability, the matter arose on the fate of public land across the country, and I directed the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development to present a statement to this effect. I now invite the Minister to present.
Right Honorable Speaker, on Thursday last week, you directed that the Minister of Lands should come today to present that statement on the status of land owned by government in Uganda. The Minister was duly informed. Unfortunately, this mid-morning or afternoon, we got information that the Honorable Minister of Lands had lost a very close relative, and she is unable to be.
I have seen one Minister of Lands.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Yes, it's true my senior was due to present that statement. Unfortunately, he was bereaved. I myself, I've just left Mulago because yesterday I had an accident and I have been in under check in hospital since yesterday. But I'm okay. And
sorry about that.
We will coordinate and present that statement.
Sorry.
And I thank you for the words of goodwill.
Sorry, Minister.
Thank you.
We wish you a quick recovery and we keep praying for you.
Amen.
Honorable Minister, Government Chief Whip, you had different instructions, I think, because we saw him on the report. The Honorable Minister was given a report to present, and I was insisting the report must be presented by the Minister of Lands so that she can be able to respond. But what we can do is that we receive the report, upload it, and then she comes to present the report on Thursday. So that you study the report, get all those areas that have been mentioned, then we can be able to discuss. I hope it has a golf course of Soroti. Please lay the report. You can actually read the report, then leave the debate to the minister.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. The statement is 2.5 pages. The rest is an attachment highlighting all the public land we have in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, this is statement to Parliament on the status of land owned by government institutions across the country, and it is signed by Honorable Judith Nabakoba, Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. Right Honorable Speaker, during the 11th sitting of the second meeting of the third session of the 11th Parliament held on Tuesday, 31st October 2023, the House adopted the report of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs on the management and utilization of Uganda Police Force land in selected areas in Kampala. Right Honorable Speaker, during that sitting, you guided that the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development should present to this August House a statement on the status of land owned by government institutions across the country on Wednesday, 15th November 2023. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, we all know and recognize the importance of land as a vital resource for socio-economic development of our country. As government, we have put in place measures to ensure that government land is effectively and efficiently managed and utilized well for the transformation of the country from a peasantry society to a modern and prosperous country. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, together with the Uganda Land Commission, have an inventory of government-owned land across the country, which I wish to lay on the table. I now beg on behalf of the Minister of Lands to lay on table an inventory of land owned by government all over Uganda. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the inventory indicates government property registered under Uganda Land Commission in every district of Uganda. It also includes both government land that is surveyed and unsurveyed. According to the verification exercise which is being carried out by the National Information Center, which is under the Ministry of Lands, out of a total of 17,296 parcels of government land throughout the country, only 4,146 parcels, that is 24%, are surveyed and titled, leaving 13,150 parcels, which constitutes 76%, unsurveyed and not titled. This situation has made it difficult to manage. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I need to inform this House that there is widespread encroachment on government land by some local communities and irregular allocations of government land by some district land boards. Right Honorable Speaker, in order to address the above cited challenges of managing government land, Uganda Land Commission is in the process of coming with a project that will undertake a comprehensive government land inventory. The project concept was submitted to the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry and Uganda Land Commission are also encouraging all accounting officers to adhere to the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, which require all government entities to declare assets under their control annually in the National Assets Registry. This will also contribute to the updating of the government land inventory. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, engagements with other stakeholders to comprehensively document all government land are ongoing. We shall continue to monitor and manage government land as well as put in place measures to ensure that government land is secure and utilized optimally. I beg to move. Signed, Judith Nabakoba, Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Government Chief Whip. Members, look at the report, look at the areas that you have an interest in, and study it very well, then we'll have a debate. A shadow. Honorable Yusuf, do you have anything to say? Is a shadow of infrastructure.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I've looked at the presentation, and I would like to thank the Minister for the brief presentation. But when you talk of public land, under the law, there's nothing called public land, but land owned by government. But the most intriguing thing, Right Honorable Speaker, is about what they call the inventory of land owned and controlled by government. I was the chairman of Kampala District Land Board, and I can talk from a point of authority that whatever has been presented as percentages actually do not exist. You're talking of titled and not titled. Most of the land is not titled but encroached upon. And after the coming into force of the Constitution, where you have lawful and bona fide occupants, the percentages are reduced. So it's really quite important that you should have something comprehensive to do a study and not rely on those figures or the inventory presented, which is historical. So as we talk in Kampala, virtually almost even the perimeters of State House are encroached upon, and people have titles. So I think, Right Honorable Speaker, this is a serious matter. District land boards have abused their authority under the guise of the new law, and there is also a lot of protection of people by the law as lawful and bona fide occupants. So I think there is something which we have to really study comprehensively. A 2-page letter, I see it like a love letter. It's not good enough to do a good job. So the debate on Thursday is really a debate what will be in futility.
At least it's not a love letter to Hajj. Thank you so much. Honorable members, you studied that report, and I will ask different committees, different sectoral committees, to pick entities, land belonging to different entities under them. If we are talking about gender, gender must speak for disability, it must speak for youth, it must speak for that one. So let's study it, and then we come back and debate on it, and different sectors should be able, different sectoral committees should be able to discuss. Because this arose out of land belonging to persons with a disability, how the land is being grabbed. Yes, Honorable Naomi.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and I also thank the Chief Whip who represented the Minister. However, I have a concern, Madam Speaker. When you look at the inventory which he has just laid, some of the land, it is just saying plot this, plot this. There's nothing like acreage. We don't know the size.
That's why we need to study it, so that we come back and debate on that and ask for a clarification. That you're saying this is a plot, how much acreage, on which road, if it is in Makino, in whichever road, we should be able to come back and get a clarification from the Minister.
Won't it be procedurally right, Madam Speaker, that instead of now asking, now that we have seen she prepares since she's coming on Thursday to bring everything ready.
And that is fine, of course, for you, because you're first, you have seen it. Honorable Government Chief Whip, tell the minister to come with all the details in regard to land owned by government.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I just thought maybe we could have it on record clearly, because the Shadow Minister pointed out that the communication from the Government Chief Whip was only of 2 letters, but he mentioned it clearly, 2 pages, sorry, but he mentioned it clearly that he had an accompanying document. So maybe the minister could lay it.
The annex.
The annex
is also laid.
Yes.
It is laid.
So maybe he could lay it properly.
You know,
I don't know why Shadow Minister.
You know the problem, we gave you iPad, you don't carry it. Where did Naomi see hers from? Naomi was very fast in seeing it.
But it's the Shadow who is saying it's only 2 pages, but we have an annex.
No, there is an attachment.
Yes.
Tell her. Honorable members studied this report, and when you look at these reports, it even indicates the sectors. There are those under MAIF, Minister of Agriculture, there are those under trade, there are those in different sectors. So you should be able to look at them, Uganda prisons, Uganda police, and then you'll be able to appreciate. Thank you. Next.
Item 5.
Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I had raised the issue regarding the Employment Amendment Bill. This is a bill that we passed here with a lot of interest because it's going to help most of our people out there who are being exploited. And the Attorney General was not in the House. Now that he's in the House, would it not be right for him to explain where the bill is and why it has taken all this time before the President assents to it? Outside, I think it is 45 days that the President is allowed to be with the bill. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, this matter, I don't know why we are insisting. This matter can always be handled. The communication on these bills is between the Speaker and the President. And me, the Speaker, have said you will have it. You will have it. Attorney General is only to cross-check, but I will be the one to give you the final word. Because I'm the one who signs to go to the President, I want you tell her to listen. Next item.
Item 5, statement by member on preparations for the Commonwealth Speakers and Presiding Officers Conference, slated for 3rd to 6th January 2024.
Honorable members, as you may already be aware, that Uganda will be hosting the Commonwealth Speakers and Presiding Officers Conference from 3rd to 6th January 2024. And it will be done by Parliament of Uganda. In order to bring the members up to speed with the progress of your preparations, the organizing committee that was headed by Honorable Abdu Katuntu is ready to report and bring us to speed on how far we've gone and whether we are ready to host our speakers and the presiding officers. And before he does that, I want to invite all of you, because I know he's ready, I want to invite all of you to the opening of that ceremony. You'll be there. Thank you. Honorable Katuntu.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues. Right Honourable Speaker, this is a statement to update you and the House on the upcoming 27th Conference of the Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth, in short called CISPOC. Right Honourable Speaker, the Parliament of Uganda will host the 27th Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth from the 3rd to the 6th of January 2024 at Speak Resort Munyonyo. Uganda was confirmed as the host of the conference at the last CISPOC conference in Canberra, Australia in January 2023, where yourself, Right Honourable Speaker Annette Among was appointed as chairperson of the Standing Committee. The official opening ceremony is expected to take place on the 5th January and to be presided over by His Excellency the President of Uganda. This is the background to this conference, Right Honourable Speaker. CISPOC was created in 1969 as an initiative of the then Speaker of the House of Commons of Canada, Mr. Lucien Rumorex. CISPOC membership is restricted to the speakers and presiding officers of national parliaments of all independent sovereign states of the Commonwealth. It consists of 22 bicameral parliaments and 30 unicameral parliaments. Currently, its membership consists of 74 speakers and presiding officers of national parliaments from 52 Commonwealth countries, and up to 180 delegates attend a typical conference, including the clerks and the Secretary Generals as observers. Right Honourable Speaker, it operates on a 2-year cycle, holding a conference of the full membership every 2 years, usually early in January, and a meeting of the Standing Committee at the time of the intervening year. These are the objectives of the conference. 1, to maintain, foster, and encourage impartiality and fairness on the part of speakers and presiding officers of Parliament. 2, promote knowledge and understanding of parliamentary democracy in various forms. And 3, develop parliamentary institutions. Right Honourable Speaker, upon your guidance, preparation for hosting of the conference has been ongoing since January 2023. Only that the focus at the beginning was on the preparation of hosting the 3rd ordinary session of the 6th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament, which was postponed to around April or May next year. Following the commitment to host this conference, a coordinating committee chaired by myself and consisting of Honourable Mwine Mpaka and Honourable Kaberuka James was established to coordinate the preparations. In addition, subcommittees consisting members of Parliament and technical staff were established to assist in the preparation of the various activities of the conference. These include the following: conference management, conference secretariat and documentation, IT support, accommodation, transport, media and publicity, protocol, medical and first aid, entertainment, excursion and tourism, spouses and accompanying persons, gifts and souvenirs, security and accreditation. Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable colleagues, following the establishment and constitution of subcommittees, several meetings of the expanded coordination committee involving subcommittee chairpersons and secretaries, and meetings with the various stakeholders, in addition to the meetings of the subcommittees, have been held. The entities represented in these meetings are Civil Aviation Authority, Uganda Revenue Authority, Directorate of Immigration and Citizenship Control, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Health, Uganda Tourism Board, and all security organizations, including the Special Forces Command, Uganda Police Force, and Internal Security Organization. Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable members, the preparations are in advanced stages. All subcommittees continuously present their progress reports to the expanded coordinating team or what we call a coordination committee, which discusses them and provides guidance. The agreed upon conference venue, Munyonyo Speak Resort, and suitable hotels to accommodate the delegates were identified and communicated to the delegates. A link has been provided for the members to book online. The deadline for registration was extended from the 16th November to 1st December, which is just a couple of days away. So far, photo speakers and presiding officers from 33 countries have confirmed attendance and apparently profiling the list for accreditation. I can mention the countries that have confirmed, Right Honourable Speaker: Republic of Tanzania, Namibia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Seychelles, Ghana, Malawi, Lesotho, Zambia, Canada, Botswana, Samoa, Tonga, Mauritius, Guyana, Pakistan, Antigua and Barbuda, Kiribati, Jamaica, Malaysia, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, the Bahamas, Mozambique, Kenya, South Africa, Kingdom of Eswatini, Trinidad and Tobago, Nigeria, India, Maldives, Dominica, British Virgin Islands, and host Uganda. The procurement, especially for offices, plenary hall, breakaway session rooms, and other requirements are ongoing. The Standing Committee approved the topics for discussion at the Kampala Conference, and they include the following. 1. Environment, climate change, and the role of Parliament. Diverse and inclusive parliaments, youth and gender sensitivity. Security measures for parliamentarians and parliaments. 4. Health and well-being support in parliaments and the role of speakers and presiding officers. 5. A special session on building consensus for parliamentary business, the role of speakers and presiding officers. Funding. Budgets and work plans from all the subcommittees were discussed and harmonized to avoid duplicity of activities and tasks. These were incorporated in the budget of the Parliamentary Commission for the current financial year 2023-24. Expected benefits. Right Honourable Speaker, the country stands to benefit from this conference as the trickle-down effects on the economy will be felt immediately, and thereafter the benefits include there will be private visits to different attractions around Uganda, and this will continue to enhance the tourism potential and subsequently increase the income. Speakers and presiding officers will hold bilateral, multilateral meetings, and these are expected to strengthen ties between the different parliaments around the Commonwealth. Right Honourable Speaker, in that regard, Parliamentary Uganda will also foster cooperation with other parliaments, which will create alliances and in the end strengthen diplomatic ties with those countries. This conference is especially important to deepen parliament diplomacy and augment Uganda's role in the Commonwealth parliamentary collaborations, as well as present opportunities to share experience, expertise, and knowledge on best practices. With the delegates, accompanying person, and other officials expected to grace the conference, colleagues, presents opportunities to create businesses and entrepreneurial linkages to cement trade relations with the visiting delegations. 6. This high-level event comes with increased tourism hits and its attendant dividends for the small, medium, and large-scale investors across the tourism value chain. CISPOC in general, Right Honourable Speaker, enhances globalization, which brings up opportunities for cooperation, especially in the areas of economics, public affairs, security, and general parliamentary diplomacy. Right Honourable Speaker, I call upon all members of Parliament to embrace the meeting and welcome the delegates in our usual warm way. When requested, kindly participate in the organization for this meeting. We have had one innovation this time round, Right Honourable Speaker. To entertain our guests, we are getting groups from up country. It has always been that we just look around Kampala and get groups here. This time, we are getting from the west, we are going to the west. From the north to do Bora dance, we are getting people from the north.
Yes.
From the east, we shall also get people from the east.
Yes.
To help expose these up-country groups to international meetings, but also to earn a little bit of income, other than it is all about Indero group all the time, Indero group all the time.
Yeah.
Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable colleagues, I beg you to report.
Thank you so much, Honorable Katonto, and thank you for that report. And basically, the report is informative, and also it serves to invite you to get involved in the activity and attend the function. And I think we are good to go. When I see I found a charity here, security will be guru guru. So we are set to go, and it's a good thing to host visitors, especially from all those countries. Yeah. Should call yourselves lucky. During your time in the 11th Parliament, you should be very happy to host those visitors. I want to thank you so much, Honorable Katonto, and you will be glad to receive the visitors. And when the visitors are here, we'll show our good manners. And maybe this is also to inform you that on 21st we'll have end of year party. This time we are not going to get dancers from out. We have people in Parliament here who perform. We shall have Banga Ina, we shall have the Hildamans, we shall have the Bualos of today. So on 21st December we'll have an end of year party in the compound here. Thank you. Next item.
Item 6.
Honorable Minister, you have something to say?
Right Honourable Speaker, I respect your ruling, and I want to thank the Honourable Katuntu for the presentation and also congratulate you for hosting that big meeting. I was just looking at, I say, since inclusive areas, and I saw gender and youth. This Parliament is doing very well for people with disabilities. How I wish we bring that topic so that other parliaments can take advantage of that, and in future we might have a parliament of disabled people to discuss other issues. So I'm just asking that let us include that important group of human beings into the presentation. And secondly, I am also being reminded of elderly here. But secondly, I also want to thank the Right Honourable Speaker. You were not there during the national prayers, but what you promoted, our own, we danced, we clapped, and whatever. And he was so excited that the president gave him an envelope. I think even he got confused at a certain stage, Ibalat. And he really danced, and we danced in that thing, and everybody was enjoying. I think this is a good promotion, and I support it for bringing our artists from outside. But just bring us there. Thank you. Yalama.
The persons with a disability.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. It is noted, but as you know, the topics are agreed upon by us and the Secretariat in Canada. However, the second topic would be diverse and inclusive parliaments, where we had limited ourselves to youth and gender sensitivity, but we can as well discuss with Canada and put the issue of people with disabilities.
And since Uganda is the one discussing that, we will include persons with a disability.
Exactly, because this particular topic is going to be presented by Uganda.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, Atat.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I would like the chair of the coordinating committee to confirm that management of the elderly should also be included. You have now included people with disability, but can you also confirm so that it is captured that you will also include in the topic elderly persons. Thank you.
You first get from him also.
I hear loud and clear. I'm sure the useful Honorable Cecilia Ogwal is worried about the elderly, but we shall try to take that into account.
You know, when you talk about inclusivity, includes everybody. It includes the young people like Atat Cecilia. It includes the youth like... It's about inclusivity. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, after listening to that wonderful report, I thought it wise that really I should take this opportunity to thank you and to appreciate. I know there are many countries that would wish to handle this conference, but I think it is because of your lobbying capacity that for the first time we are hosting it in the country. Therefore, just leaving that report without recognizing your effort would be unfair to ourselves. Therefore, I thought I would take that opportunity to thank you. And as members of Parliament, we are proud that you have managed to pull this conference. We shall be in history that the speakers, their conference and the Commonwealth will be hosted in Uganda.
Thank you.
Then too, it confirms the maturity of the democracy of this country.
Thank you.
I don't think such a conference will be hosted in an undemocratic country. That shows that our country is maturing in terms of democracy and the stability and the peace of the country, as an anchor is making all this big international conference coming to the country. And as Ugandans will be aware to benefit from the benefits of these conferences. I know the benefits are immense. Therefore, I want to thank you. Continue to lobby more. After this, we should have others and others so that our economy will grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, you're so mean, you can't even clap for. By the way, we are also supposed to host APU, which APU is being headed by Honorable Nakut, African Parliamentary Union. Yes, Jonathan, then Martin.
Right Honourable Speaker, it is true I should also go on record to thank you very, very much on behalf of the people of Soroti City that we are going to host this conference during your time as a Speaker of this Parliament. I am also a very happy man that it is going to come at a time when I am the Member of Parliament of Soroti City. Madam Speaker, I am in the committee, I'm at the Secretariat. We are going to do everything possible within our means to ensure that this conference is hosted in Uganda successfully. But I want to thank you. Let me thank you very, very much that you're doing a very good job. The world is happy, the women are happy, and government is happy. Thank you very much. I thought I would go on record on answer to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're forcing me to say FDC. This function is a country being hosted by Uganda. Therefore, we must be proud of our country. I thank you.
Honorable members, Uganda is bigger than any party. It's about
Thank you very much.
It is our
Thank you.
country.
It's our country.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I join colleagues in thanking you for enabling this country to host this particular event. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me also to thank the committee It's a good committee, and we expect a lot from them. Right, Honourable Speaker, on the issue of investment, I'm very concerned. We need to prepare ourselves as a country if we are to attract investors. In most cases, these functions, they come, but they find us not prepared in certain areas. And you find that people have come here. These are leaders who can go back and market our country. But if we don't have brochures that can market our country in areas of investment, people may go back without information. So I just want to ask the committee to come up with information in areas of investment so that these people can pick this information.
Minister of Trade.
Thank you.
Tourism. Back to you. We are promoting you. What do you have to?
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker, first of all, for making this possible for Uganda to be able to host this big conference. And I also want to thank the wisdom of the committee through your leadership that there was a special committee of tourism and trade. We are fully represented by Uganda Tourism Board, so we'll be able to avail whatever is necessary that this country has to offer as a good tourism destination. So we have all this prepared for the visitors.
Maybe for your information, there is a team already coming. By next week?
Right Honourable Speaker, colleagues, Malaysia alone is sending a delegation of 50 people, Malaysia alone. And many of them will not be doing politics of the Commonwealth. They're also coming as investors. So we'll be liaising with the Uganda Tourism Board and other agencies of government to see whether they can have bilateral meetings.
Thank you. Thank you, Mehdi.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, if there is anyone worried, but also happy about the occasion, it's a member of Parliament in Kampala. Because of the status of our infrastructure at the moment. It's two-way. I'm quite glad at the moment that there is a concerted effort from even you. First of all, as I add my voice to the others to congratulate you upon this dual milestone for the African Parliamentary Union Parliament being hosted here, but also for this Commonwealth meeting. It's a show of confidence that your colleagues have in you at the international stage, but also the desire to visit the Pearl of Africa, which is Uganda, because of its milestones in achievement. Now, I would like to call upon members of Parliament and the executive that let's all put on our boots and go an extra mile to see to it that we improve our infrastructure within the remaining days, in form of cleaning up the roads, cleaning up the drainages, maintaining the roads, and lighting our express. Let's start this from the airport. At the entry of the airport, the checkpoint has been moved away, and that's amazing, to a further point. But the road that takes you to when you're entering the airport is full of potholes inside the airport now. I was looking at people struggling on Sunday. That is true. When I don't know which route you use, Honorable Bobo, I can see you're surprised. Maybe they remove barricades for you and you just go through direct. But the road, you know, the turnoff towards the airport, and Right Honorable Speaker, you can go and visit, is in a bad shape. And when people are moving, they still continue to carry luggage on their head. And I mean, this is an image that we give our visitors that look here. We cannot even get an escalator at the airport, even when it's still under works, that people carry baggage from the parking and have to move with it upstairs. It is a little bit ashaming, and I know we can do it.
Thank you.
We have confidence in you, Right Honourable Speaker, and in this House, that if we want to do it for the nation, let's try to clean up the face of this nation from the airport
to the express where there are no lights at the moment, and up to the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll do what we can do now, and what we cannot do will be done later. Okay? Zombo? Zombo, then you people, is it on the hosting?
Right Honorable, I want to take this opportunity also to add my voice and also congratulate you and the team for the lobbying for Uganda to host the Speakers Conference. Between September 22nd and September 29 of 2019, we hosted the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference here. And I was one of the panelists who facilitated the topic on climate change at Speak Resort Munyonyo. And it was well attended. There were resolutions that were passed in that meeting. And now that we are hosting the Speakers Conference, I think this is a big boost to build on what has been started, and the speakers are the ones, presiding officers in the different Commonwealth countries. I also want to commend you for including the committee, for including environment and climate change on the discussions. As you may see, most of the Commonwealth countries, the small nations like Vanuatu, Samoa, Fiji, St. Kitts and Nevis, the Grenadines, even Dominican Republic, these are small countries that are at the blunt of suffering from climate change and environmental degradation. But as we talk about these seeds, the small island developing states, we should, in our discussion, also focus on countries that may not necessarily be small island development countries, including Uganda. We still have small islands within Uganda. In most discussions at the Commonwealth or at the IPU or international level, islands like Kome Island, Buvuma are forgotten, and yet they are also facing the same problem being faced in the Solomon Island. So I want to really thank you. And also want to congratulate Uganda, because I think next year will be very busy for us. We have the Commonwealth Speakers Conference, we have the non-aligned movement, we have the G77 and China, or the South Cooperation. These are all important meetings that will build on partnership, but also increase investment, but at the same time, improve the image of Uganda. I want to thank you.
Thank you, thank you. We'll also be hosting PAP, Pan-African Parliament will be sitting in Uganda. Professor.
Thank you.
I've got a new whip now.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I also join those who have congratulated you and the team you worked with to have this conference here. And I'm looking forward to seeing the benefits that we are likely to get. However, we need to draw lessons from past experiences. In 2007, before Chogam, I was on a committee of 4 people, Right Honourable Mama Mbabazi, General Mujira, who is a member of this House, Dr. Mlema and myself as inspectors to check physically on what the organizing committee was saying. To our surprise, when we moved around to check on accommodation, what the hotel owners were telling the committee in terms of accommodation, it was not there. As a result, many of the visitors, especially on the business committee, those who are coming for business, some relocated to Nairobi, others went back because the accommodation was not sufficient. So I want to give a piece of advice to Honorable Katuntu, that some of the things you need to go physically and cross-check. The information they give you, in most cases, is for purposes of attracting, winning contracts, when in the actual sense, you don't have the infrastructure or the resources.
Thank you.
It may also please you, Right Honorable Speaker, also to, through your office, to get some other few individuals who will go, like the work we did at that time. I resist being heckled by my colleagues. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we could share these ideas more with the organizing committee, but drawing from the experiences in the past are very, very important for a successful organization.
Thank you. Honorable members, one thing I want you to know, that we don't book for these members, they book online. They get the accommodation online, they book everything online. Isn't that what it is?
Right Honourable Speaker, this is not a conference where Parliament of Uganda is going to be paying accommodation for the delegates. What we did is to provide them the hotels, and they have booked themselves. However, every sector has a whole subcommittee. The one of accommodation is being headed by the Honourable Mapinduzi, and they are detailed, they are thorough. The one of conference management is headed by the Honourable Okotogong. The one of tourism is headed by the Honourable Chibalia. The one of souvenirs headed by the Honourable, and spouses by the Honourable Cecilia Timogwal. The one on security is headed by none other than Jemedali.
You stand up.
And Honourable Mshemeza, just note that the captain is an experienced hand at this. That you should trust. So every sector has got a whole committee, professionals experienced, and good enough. We have organized the CPA, we know what happened, and we also are around during CHOGAM. So we pick experiences and so on. Right Honourable Speaker, you should also be informing the House that this October, the Pan-African Parliament was supposed to be sitting here. Unfortunately, they couldn't because there are problems of leadership in South Africa. It is even bigger than this conference because we are talking about 500 people coming here for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So that is going to be another opportunity to showcase our country. And as they say, this is confidence in this country called Uganda by the international family and international community. We should continue be doing that and portray ourselves as a destination for conferences, for tourism, and for business. I thank you, Right Honourable.
Thank you so much, Your Honourable members. I have an item that I need to finish. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I have two issues, Right Honourable Speaker. I think number one is we have very many visitors coming to our country, and we need to portray a correct image. Every time I drive around Kampala city, the mannerism, the manner in which the borders just go anyhow. I would want to appeal to the Minister of Security or Internal Affairs. From now, can we try to organize ourselves before even the visitor comes? We have about 1 or 2 months. We should try to either limit the borders coming into the CDB when the visitors are here, because the image that any one of us, when you're driving in Kampala, you see is not what these people see in their capitals. That's number one. The second one, Right Honourable Speaker, the President had the opportunity to visit himself the major spotlights where construction work is taking place. As Parliament, we always have committees that do oversight. Since this thing is very big, Right Honourable Speaker, I would want to propose that if it is possible, you lead us and we find an opportunity to visit some of these places, even the construction works which is taking place within Kampala.
There's a procedure.
And we put more pressures there.
There's a
procedure, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I had reservations when you earlier on ruled that the report that was presented by Honourable Abdul Katun to the chairperson of the coordinating committee was just informative. Right Honourable Speaker, as we continue debating, there are things that we need to talk about in the House. We are hosting international visitors, and these are high-class visitors. So we don't want to talk about how our bedrooms look, because this is a national forum. We cannot say that we are exposing how ready we are when we are talking about roads. Right Honourable Speaker, I just want to congratulate you, in particular, for having the first speaker in the history of our country to host this very important conference. And I want, in the procedure that I wanted to move, that the debate of this particular item be closed, such that, Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable Speaker, I'm on a procedure. Wouldn't it be procedurally right to close this motion and
close the
debate of this motion? Right Honourable Speaker, wouldn't it be procedurally right to close the debate on this report such that other issues are handled in the committees internally?
Thank you. Honourable members, first of all, as I said before, that we are ready to host our visitors. Very ready. It would have been selfish of the committee and the speaker and the deputy speaker not to tell you what is happening in the institution. We are giving a brief of what is happening in the institution so that you're part and parcel of the whole activity. Now, the issues of whether we are ready, whether our bedrooms are clean, that one is sorted. We are ready to host our visitors. And the issue of the traffic, the what is sorted out. That's why you find the president himself went inspecting the roads because he values these visitors. When you talk about the lights, the whatever, the express highway, the lights are almost complete. They are putting lights there. Can we get an update from Government Chief Whip, who was in that team? Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, you have said it majorly all. Honourable members, in preparation to all major international events that Uganda will host in 2024, the following are being done. And I want to give a quick response to a very pertinent issue raised by Honourable Sereko, the Member of Parliament for Kampala Central. On the issue of Entebbe Express Highway, we all know that by design, Entebbe Express Highway was meant to have the lights. And as we speak, for those who have used Entebbe Express Highway, the lights are getting fitted. Absolutely. On the question of major infrastructure, it has been alluded to that the head of state took it upon himself as the chief host to move and inspect major infrastructure, roads, the airport itself, accommodation, the conference facilities, and in his own wisdom, as part of boosting what Kampala Capital City Authority is doing, he directed that the Special Forces Command, the unit in charge of engineering, will work on some roads. And as I speak, they have started. Those roads have been handed over to them. Honorable colleagues, to support what the Right Honorable Speaker has said, We may not be where we would wish to be, but we will get there. And we want to promise you that we will get there. And we shall host all these international conferences successfully. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and you'll find that those so-called big countries, the big boys around, used to be where we are, and will also be there.
Thank you.
Yes, tourism, you want to speak after your boss?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. But just to avert the fears of the members, despite what you say, Uganda has been ranked as the 6th best destination in hosting MICE in Africa. MICE is meetings, meetings, conferences, and events, where what you're talking about falls under. So is NAM, so is U77. So we've been ranked among the top 6 in the whole of Africa. So there should be no worry. When it comes to hotels, UTB, which is a member of the committee, does classifications of all the hotels in this country. And I'm sure a list has been availed that are safe, and the classes are there. So anyone online can book and know this is the class I'll get when I travel to Uganda. So there should be no worry, Right Honorable
Thank
Speaker.
you. That's why you see we're even hosting AFCON. AFCON. Yes. Next item.
Item 6, motion for adoption of the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-regions to assess water for agricultural production facilities.
Honorable members, the importance of water for production in agriculture cannot be overemphasized. Right now, most parts of the country are receiving a lot of rainfall, but within few months, some of these areas will be water strained, like my place in Karamoja. This calls for a functional water for production, storage facilities, among others. Whether or not it is being done, the committee will now present its report. It will reveal, because you'll find my brother Frank, will tell you he has put up a dam in Bukedea, but now it will be the committee to tell us whether it's there or not there. So committee, can you present your report?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-regions to assess water for agricultural production facilities. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker, in the same vein, I beg to lay the minutes of the meetings of the Committee on Agriculture while considering the report of the water for production facilities in Teso and Karamoja. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I now beg to present the report of the Committee of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-regions to assess water for production, for agricultural production facilities. And I am not going to read word for word. It is uploaded, and I believe members have gone through it. I go straight to page 3 on introduction. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, in accordance with Rule 159C and D, 189B, E, and F of our Rules of Procedure, the Committee of Agriculture conducted a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-regions to assess water for production facilities, and now reports in accordance with Rule 34 of the Rules of Procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, just to give a small background, like you had already hinted, globally water for production accounts for over 80% of water drawn for use. According to Ministry of Water and Environment, less than 2% of water available in the country is used in production. But there is a sharp increase in demand primarily due to climate change and degradation of natural resources. Consequently, 83% of the agricultural communities in Uganda continue to depend on rainfall as a source of water for production. About 21% of agricultural communities utilize wetlands, 14% utilize streams, while the least used operational sources of water for production include valley tanks, which is 0.2%, and rock catchment rainwater harvesting, which is 0.3%, according to UBOS. UBOS states that further that the country is increasingly facing major challenges of prolonged droughts and unexpected floods due to climate change variability. It is predicted that Uganda will be water stressed by the year 2025. Cognizant of the climate variability and the importance of water for production, government prioritized increased access and use of water for agricultural production in the NDP3 through the 5 sub-interventions that are lined up here. One is completion of irrigation schemes under construction, construction of new irrigation schemes, development of infrastructure and services for bulk water storage and transfer, including water abstraction systems, transmission mains, water pumping systems, storage tanks, and water distribution networks. The other is development of solar-powered small-scale irrigation systems for smallholder farmers outside conventional irrigation schemes. And the fifth one is promotion of water use efficiency in agricultural production. In addition, Right Honorable Speaker, the interventions mentioned, government through Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Water has been providing infrastructure for water for production facilities in the country since 1960 to date. The infrastructure includes valley dams, valley tanks, earth dams, and irrigation schemes, among others. On page 5, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, we have a table showing water for agricultural production loan projects in Uganda. However, as a summary of that table, government's efforts to reduce reliance on rain-fed agriculture and mitigate the effects of climate change remain unsatisfactory, as the plans are not yet yielding the desired results. Several such challenges have been recorded with these projects during the course of their implementation and utilization, and they include lack of a sustainability plan for the infrastructure, poor location and siting of facilities, placing them in areas that are far from people who are in dire need. There is misuse of established facilities by the beneficiary communities, abandonment of projects by contractors at the implementation phase, thus causing loss of funds to government. There is also absence of a clear policy framework streamlining the roles of Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Water. A recent cabinet directive placed the responsibility of establishing and managing water for agricultural production facilities for on-farm activities under MAIF, while Ministry of Water is supposed to establish and manage facilities for on-farm, off-farm activities. There is also the challenge of poor or inappropriate project design. There is poor coordination during implementation and shoddy work and incomplete work in most of the facilities. Right Honorable Speaker, like I'd said, the committee visited the two sub-regions of Karamoja and Teso based on the background information that is highlighted below. Karamoja's prevailing pastoral and agro-pastoral production systems are characterized by long dry spell and cyclical droughts that are exacerbated by climate change. The scarcity of water associated with the drought is considered the greatest risk to agricultural development. In addition, a considerable number of valley tanks, up to 20,000 cubic meters, and wells have been constructed across the sub-region, but most have dried up due to the long dry season. Much of the existing water storage infrastructure suffered from consequences of years of utilization without proper operation and maintenance. Furthermore, water catchment areas supplying water to the water storage sites are under threat due to overgrazing, forest destruction, bushfires, and increasing charcoal production. Like in other regions, Teso sub-region depends on agriculture as a key economic activity. However, the area has been experiencing erratic and unpredictable rainfall, which has resulted into frequent floods, waterlogging, and severe prolonged droughts, contributing to food insecurity. The government has established a number of water for production facilities, but the demand is still high. It is against this background, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, that the committee conducted a field visit to Karamoja and Teso to assess the selected water for production facilities. The objectives of the field trip are captured under 3.0. The methodology is under 4.0, and under 4.0, after the field trip, the committee had an engagement with the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Water, and Ministry of Finance. The sites that were visited are in 4.2, in Moroto, Nakonyen, Valley Dam, Amuda District, Katotin Small-Scale Irrigation Scheme, and Kosike Valley Dam. In Kabong, the committee visited Longoromit Valley Dam and Usake Valley Dam. In Kotido, the committee visited Kaoyangorok Valley Dam and Kailong Valley Dam. In Abim, the committee visited Kawomori Valley Dam and Kanu Valley Dam. In Soroti, Alere Small-Scale Irrigation Scheme. In Bukedia, a Chomai Irrigation Scheme and a Kero Valley Tank. In Kumi, a Mosingo Small-Scale Irrigation Scheme and a Gurut Valley Tank. While in Serere, the committee visited Opapa Small-Scale Irrigation Scheme. Findings. In Nakonyen, in Moroto District, the committee was informed that work commenced in January 2023. The facility, after completion, would have a capacity of 1,580,000 cubic meters and would serve the people of Tapach
and the neighboring communities. And the committee was informed that a cost of 9.1 billion was to be spent. Committee observations. The cost of the project has been increasing over time. The original cost was 8.1 billion. At the time of the committee visit, it had increased to 9.1 billion. As of October 2023, MAIF had revised the cost to 10.9 billion. After 9 months, the project is behind schedule and may not be completed within the planned activities. The project design provides for water points for livestock, but lacks a provision for irrigation, aquaculture, and provision of clean water for domestic consumption. There was no adherence to social and environmental standards that was seen. But on a positive note, as the contractor continued to do its work, there was provision for watering points for livestock, even as the construction continued. Recommendations. MAIF should ensure that the contractor expedites completion of the remaining works without compromising the quality to avoid additional costs. This should be done under close supervision of the ministry. The project design should be revised to make provisions for irrigation, fish farming, and clean water for water provision. Then MAIF should ensure that the contractor adheres to environmental and social safety standards by planting trees around the project site. For Katotin small-scale irrigation, which is located in Amudat district, it was started on the 11th of May 2021 and completed on 20th January 2022 at a cost of 1.9 billion. Observations by the committee. The project has not been handed over to Amudat district local government, and this is hampering rehabilitation works for the facility. Then the committee also observes that the criteria for allocation of the 10 acres of land to the community members wasn't clear. The recommendation is that Ministry of Water hands over Katotin irrigation scheme to Amudat district local government, who should in turn establish a facility user committee. For Kosike Valley Dam, still in Amudat, this is being implemented by MAIF, and at the time of the visit, 1.6 billion had already been spent, and the cost of the project is expected to be 11.6 billion. At the time the committee visited, the work was at a standstill. Only clearing of the site had been done, and the committee was informed that there was disagreement on the issue of land ownership. So the committee observes that government is likely to lose money if the issues that led to stalling of the project are not addressed. Then the Ministry of Agriculture, who is implementing it, did not adequately engage the community. That is what the committee discovered from the field. Recommendations. MAIP should expedite the process of compensating the landowners so as to pave way for faster and safer project implementation. And as a matter of urgency, adequately engage stakeholders to resolve the diverse interests and concerns of the community. Because the community reported that, I think, their traditional area was tampered with during the siting of the project. Longoromit Dam in Kabong district, this was constructed by Ministry of Water at a cost of 7.2 billion. At the same time, when Arechek Dam in Napak district and Kobebe Dam in Moroto district were constructed. Apparently, in the region, the best dam that one can see is Arechek Dam, which is in Napak district. By the time the committee visited the dam in Longoromit, in Kabong, it was not functional and completely ran down. Observations: the committee observed that even the wild animals from Kidepo Valley Park, National Park, have escalated the rate of silting of the dam because they also drink from the same dam. We are informed water weeds, some weeds have invaded the park, and that is why the wild animals are getting scattered everywhere. For Longoromit Dam is dilapidated to a large extent and would require a substantial amount of resources to rehabilitate. Recommendation: Ministry of Water should budget for fencing and rehabilitation of Longoromit Earth Dam in the financial year coming. And the funds should be released during the first quarter, because sometimes, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, we appropriate monies to some of these entities to do due diligence to water for production, but monies are not released. The committee recommends that effective financial year 2024-2025, UWA should budget for fencing Kidepo National Park to stop the animals from escaping from the park and provide drinking points to the animals. Yes. On Usake Dam, located in Ik constituency in Kabong, the work is currently ongoing and it is being implemented by MAIF, and it is expected that when completed, it will be having a capacity of 2,888,000 cubic meters, and with a cost of 6.9 billion shillings, of which at the time of the visit, 4.7 had already been spent. Observations: progress of construction works is between 50 to 60%, and yet the completion date is nearing. The equipment and manpower on the site that we saw were inadequate, and also there is a permanent water source that makes that site very strategic, and the watering traps were constructed. However, there is no adherence to environmental and social safety standards. We did not see any tree around the dam being constructed, and of course lack of community involvement. Recommendations: MAIF should ensure timely completion of Usake Dam, and the contractor should be urged to plant trees around the project site to demarcate the land and reduce the soil erosion. Kaoyangorok Valley Dam in Kotido was constructed by MAIF at a cost of 9 billion. During the visit of the committee, the district officials reported that the dam had never been handed over to Kotido district local government. Observations by the committee: the dam is located in wilderness, in a very remote and insecure area. The place is uninhabited, no road, and it is hard for the intended beneficiaries to access and utilize. The committee also observes that water was covered with algae, water weeds, and swamp vegetation, which made it difficult for livestock to drink from that dam. Recommendations: MAIF should complete the project and hand it over to Kotido district local government for further management. MAIF, through their Department of Agricultural Mechanization, could support the construction of an access road to the facility, and also plan for maintenance of the facility in that area. For Kailong Dam, this is located in Lokitalaibu sub-county in Kotido district, and it was done by Ministry of Water. According to Ministry of Finance, when they appeared before the committee, they reported that Kailong was constructed at 1 billion shillings, 1,095,857,000, and handed over for utilization. But some records put the figure at 3.2 billion. So the committee wasn't able to verify which figure was the right one. Committee observations. The facility was not completed and was not handed over to Kotido District Local Government. This was by Ministry of Water. And there are discrepancies, like I've said, in the project costs by different entities. People interpret the figures differently. The recommendations: projects should be completed and handed over to Kotido District Local Government, which will hand it over to the user communities. The committee also recommends that the Auditor General should carry out a value for money audit of the project and ascertain the actual project cost. Kawomere in Abim was constructed at a cost of 3.5 billion by Ministry of Water and Environment. The committee found the facility surrounded by bushes. The facility had algae and water hyacinth, and the committee observed that the valley tank was actually non-functional. It had a non-functional outlet system, affecting its ability to provide water to the beneficiaries in a controlled manner. Whereas Ministry of Finance reported that the project was commissioned, the district and community reported that construction of the facility has neither been completed nor handed over to the district. Recommendations: Ministry of Water should complete construction of this project and hand it over to the district local government. The facility should be fenced with immediate effect because the committee was informed that some 4 children are drawn in that water because of curiosity to go and swim in a non-protected dam. Kanu Dam, this construction facility was launched in April 2022 by Her Excellency the Vice President. The work at the facility has stalled due to land wrangles. So the committee observes that MAIF should consult the district leadership about the choice of this project. The committee was informed that the committee and the community and the local government were not consulted, and that is why the land wrangle is going on. The committee recommends that MAIF should work with the government valuer and local leaders to verify the list of all land owners so that they are compensated and construction work starts as soon as possible. Our Lere small irrigation scheme in Katine in Soroti district. This facility was constructed by Ministry of Water. The facility has a valley tank with a capacity of 20,000 cubic meters, a solar abstraction system, irrigation network, and modern nursery bed, and among others. The committee observes that the facility has not been handed over to Soroti District Local Government, yet it is being utilized. The committee also observes that farmers lack skills in good agricultural practices and agribusiness management. Recommendation: Ministry of Water should hand over to Soroti District Local Government this facility. The committee also recommends that the district, through the production department, ensures that farmers are trained on irrigation practices, agribusiness, and supported to maintain the infrastructure. Achomai irrigation scheme, which is located in Kamutur sub-county, Bukedia district, and is still under the construction of Ministry of Agriculture under the Agricultural Value Chain Development Project. According to Ministry of Finance, construction of this project commenced in November 2021 and is expected to be completed in July 2024. It is supposed to have a number of projects within it: construction of 6 secondary canals, 6.4 kilometers of scheme roads, storage building, residential and office buildings, drop structures, flood protection works, storage tank, embankment filling and compactment, and construction of a bridge over River Sironko at the intake site to connect Bukedia and Bulambuli districts. The scheme is a large one and is estimated to cover 1,608 hectares, where the net irrigable area will be 1,480 hectares, with its water resource from River Sironko at estimated cost of that amount of money, $37,807 million US dollars. The committee observes that the project implementation is slow, whereas Minister of Finance reported that the progress of the work had reached 47%.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I would like to thank the senior Honourable Okorimoi for the wonderful report. My procedural point, Right Honourable Speaker, is in form of a request that since we have this report uploaded and she's well far to the observations, that she goes straight to the recommendations and we can carry on a meaningful debate. Otherwise, her report is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right Honourable Speaker, I thought I would talk everything about Bukedia, but my brother is stopping me. He doesn't know that Bukedia is a district of Enalongo. Right Honourable Speaker, recommendations. The committee recommends that a provision be made to retain Tajar Valley Tank operational so as to save government money from getting wasted. The committee was informed that the facility was established at about 2 billion shillings, and the committee wishes that another project like Tajar would be given to the local community as the other major project goes on. The committee also recommends that government undertakes deliberate efforts to source market for the scheme produce when operational to motivate farmers. On Akero Valley Tank in Bukedia still, now that my brother doesn't want stories, observations. Akero Valley Tank infrastructure is dilapidated and needs to be rehabilitated. The committee recommends that MAIF should budget for the silting and renovation of Akero Valley Tank, and this should include restoration of its banks, renovating inlets and spillways, and all the others that are listed. The committee also recommends that MAIF prioritizes and expedites rehabilitation of this dam as soon as can be possible. A Mosingo small-scale irrigation scheme. Recommendations. The committee recommends that Minister of Water that constructed this scheme hands over the project to the district local government for further management and sustainability. The committee also recommends that the ministry reviews the cost of renting land to the farmers with a view of maintaining profitability of the investment. The committee further recommends MAIF and Minister of Water should harmonize the provision of agricultural extension services and personnel. The line ministries, in consultation with the district local governments, should facilitate the formation of a facility management committee to provide a framework for effective maintenance of the facilities. A Gurut Valley Tank in Kumi. The committee recommends that Minister of Agriculture ensures completion of the project in accordance with the design specifications. Then, upon completion, the ministry should hand over the project to Kumi District Local Government to facilitate the usage of the facility by the community. Opapa small-scale irrigation scheme.
Honorable members, most of these dams are either not completed, they are not fenced. Even those that are completed have not been handed over to the district for better management. So, as the Honorable Serko was saying, you do give us the generic observation that one, the fencing, there is poor design and delayed completion of almost all of these dams, and then the fencing and rehabilitation of these dams are not being done. For instance, you've talked about Akero Dam is dilapidated. Even the one of Achamai, it is behind schedule. When you talk about releases of funds, because I know agriculture is going to come and say, you know, we budgeted for this, but we were not given money. Then the issue of fencing, Kidepo, the animals should not live together with the people, because at the end of the day, one will eat the other. So there should be a fencing of these places, and then unprotected dams. I told the Minister of Agriculture that I'm going to fine him because of one of the unprotected dam around my place, and I've lost over 20 cows in that unprotected dam. So we need to finish this kind of dams. You conclude.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. As I conclude, the issues that you have summarized are actually the issues that the committee got on the ground for nearly all the water for production facilities that the committee visited, except that most of the ones that are being implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture, they are still on construction stage. A number of them are not concluded. Then the other issue, Right Honourable Speaker.
But then, Chair, how do we know which dam should be constructed by agriculture and which one should go to Ministry of Water?
That is the question, Right Honourable Speaker. The Minister of Finance, when he appeared before the committee, had requested for a tripartite meeting between the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Agriculture, and Ministry of Water. We are still waiting for that meeting, but the Minister of Agriculture has already informed us as a committee that the matter is being handled by Her Excellency, the Vice President, at the executive level. So he had requested that we leave that issue to be handled by the Vice President, because right now it is not clear who is where. So I think it is a matter for the executive to handle. Then, Right Honourable Speaker, finally, the Speaker will give you time.
Finalize.
Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, one thing that the committee observed, that in the water for production facilities that are in Teso sub-region, most of them don't have a problem of land wrangles. Most of the sites in Karamoja have a problem of land. There is a lot of land wrangles, and that is what has delayed.
That is because of failure to involve the communities. Once you involve the communities in this, then you cannot have the wrangles.
So in conclusion, Right Honourable Speaker, the demand for water for production facilities by communities across the country continue to increase, more especially in water-stressed areas like Karamoja and Teso sub-regions. Honourable colleagues, In areas where the facilities exist, the communities are underserved. With those submissions, I would like to thank you for listening, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chair of the committee. Abrahams.
Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank the chairperson of the committee for an elaborate report. I want to start with the information that I wanted to provide. I think the discussion of defining who should do the construction works on certain sites needs to be discussed seriously, because there was a conflict in, I think, that dam you're talking about, serving the people of Tepes. The Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Water at one point were colliding over a site. And up to today, we do not know whether the matter was resolved.
And the Karamojong leaders even organized and mobilized people to chase the people from agriculture to ban the equipment. We got that information.
So I think those are the issues that need to be resolved, because our Karamojong don't like confusion. One person comes, a site is given, the second day it's somebody else they don't know. That's basically just a reaction. Two, I would like to observe that in the whole of Karamoja,
but as leaders, let's desist from mobilizing our communities. Let's be leaders. You cannot say we cannot give one. This is one government. You cannot mobilize people to have equipments banned, to have these people attacked. That was very unfortunate. My Karamu young people don't behave like that. You get it, eh? So next time, let's not do that. It is good for us to come back and sit and agree. This is consensus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was observing that while there is a problem of water in Karamoja, Kotido district is the most water stressed. And I think I want to appeal to the Minister of Agriculture, if they're able to help in providing water. This is what has caused problems between the people of Kotido and the people of Acholi. Because every dry season, these guys have to go in the name of following the water that flows to the swamps during the dry season. And if these matters are not attended to, people are bound to have a lot of conflicts. We have a very critical dam called Longore Dam between the people of Agago and the people of Kotido. It has stayed for years, but so far it's silted up. I would like to appeal to government to consider desilting this dam in order to help our people. And finally, Maif, the dam in Kauyangor, is actually incomplete. The chairperson tried to be polite. When we went there, even the LC1 of the area was willing to walk through the dam. Now, if a dam's depth is about 3 meters, then what would you call a water pond? How many people can it serve? How long would it be able to last? Because the challenge we have is the water reservoirs that are constructed, most of them do not provide water in the dry season. And yet the purpose is to provide water during the dry season. So if these reservoirs cannot provide water, what alternative do our people have? I think it's important for the engineers to begin to make better designs and maybe think of other options of putting water pumps so that in the dry season, wind power can be used to pump water into the dams so that it restricts a lot of movement. Thank you.
Thank you. Ik.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. First of all, I want to thank the chairperson and the members for the well-elaborated report. Madam Speaker, I want to begin with the issue of Mugusake Dam. This dam was launched in 2018, and it has taken 6 years down the road. Again, the first money that was put in that dam was truly, it is true that it was 6.9 billion. But now there have been about 3 contractors on the same dam until the ministry took over. Then, Madam Speaker, on the issue of community involvement on social corporate responsibility, Madam Speaker, I remember one day that we had agreed that for them to pick Maram on some site near my farm, and we said that let that money be used for opening community access road connecting my constituency and the Northwest County. And these people did not give that money. They just went away. Thirdly, Madam Speaker, on the issue of Longoromiti Dam, Madam Speaker, it is true. We share that. We have been sharing with elephants, with the buffaloes. On Saturday when I came, I got many elephants in the afternoon on the road. I had to give them way. I first stopped, I reversed, then I let them to go. Otherwise, these animals have been damaging the crops in most of the sub-counties, Madam Speaker. That park needs to be fenced so that because these animals have caused a lot of food insecurity in the region.
There's an order. Somebody is putting you in order.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the Honourable from Ikiki. Iki.
No, it's Iki.
Iki. I don't know what he's putting on. Whether it's a Maradona shirt. I'm therefore.
Before I came to the house, I read the rules of procedure, Madam Speaker, on dressing code.
Now you are the Speaker to respond.
So, I don't know whether the colleague is in order to be on microphone when he's putting on a shirt, an ordinary shirt, in this respectable, honorable house. I thank you.
Honorable members, I am actually constrained to rule. Because you see, the young man was almost being eaten by the animals. So next time he will come in a suit. So let him finish his statement. Because he met those big animals.
Most obliged, Madam Speaker. As I conclude, Madam Speaker, on the issue of the dams in Karamoja, sometimes I saw the chairperson complaining that sometimes the ministries even account, Ministry of Water, Ministry of Agriculture, they account for one dam. How is that possible? That these two ministries allocate money to one dam and then they account for one dam. I think we need that issue to be sorted
Thank
out.
you.
Thank
That
you,
will
Madam.
be clarified by the Minister. Yes, Dr. Boka.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to add my voice to thank the chairperson of the committee for that report. Number one, the issues that have been highlighted from Teso and Karamoja cut across the water-stressed areas. I would like to suggest, Madam Speaker, that the committee considers a more comprehensive assessment to look into other areas like West Nile, Busoga, Bunyoro, amongst other things, to have a national picture of the situation.
Actually, when we start discussing about Karamoja and Teso alone, they will imagine it is because the speaker comes from those two areas. So what we are going to do, I am happy that the minister is here and these things are real. Let the minister give us a feedback that they are going on ground, but the committee, can you do this comprehensive report for the whole country? For the whole country. Because you are talking about Teso and Karamoja. Those are just not even 2%. Now you've left out the cattle corridor. You've left Honorable Minister, can you come and because all these things are true, Minister is not going to deny.
Right Honorable Speaker, congratulations on the conference coming. I want to thank the chair and the members for the oversight report. Madam Speaker, I have gone through the report. I just received it today, but we have been interacting with the committee. For each of the dams we are implementing, if time allowed, we can go into detail of the challenges we are facing. Generally, Maif, the committee knows our budget. When we talk of water for agricultural production, we are talking about water for livestock. We are talking about aquaculture, the fish ponds. We are talking about irrigation technologies. So all of these, and of course we even talk about farm access roads, because they are rural roads that are not coded by either Ministry of Works or the district. So when we are going to put this water for this infrastructure, we have to ensure we open the roads. So the common factor we have in all of this is a limited budget. Our development budget as the Ministry of Agriculture ranges between 90 to 130 billion for the whole country. For the whole country. And out of that budget, agriculture, water for agriculture production is always allocated 60%. And this 60% comes, as you know, in quotas. Now, so what we've done as the Ministry of Agriculture, and which should be a point of correction in the report, we never contract private contractors. We've tried to build in-house capacity in the mechanization department. We deploy ministry engineers. All of those dams, if they were to be contracted, the cost would be almost double. Like the issue of Nakonye Dam, the cost, they say it was 8.1, it increased to about 10. So I inquired from our engineer for mechanization. The justification is that it's because of the fuel increase and the cost of steel. Madam Speaker and colleagues, all the dams that are not yet handed over will be handed over on completion. They will be fenced. Myself, when I visited some of the dams, really as a cattle keeper, I know, even if you have not studied animal husbandry, when you put up a water pond and you allow cows to go and water for themselves, my father gave me enough strokes for that. So we should be able to fence the dam and have the watering troughs around it. This will be done, and we've already given a policy instruction. I agree with you, Madam Speaker and colleagues, that I think why Karamoja stands out and Teso, it's because of the Teso is prone to flooding, Karamoja is prone to drought. I am sure the committee, working together with us, we can bring the broader country water for production challenge. But I have some hope to give you. And I'm not in anticipation, Madam, because this matter is already in the Committee of National Economy. When we have our loan that is coming, we are going to equip our mechanization centers. We will have our fleet of machinery expanded. Each region will have a resident unit for water for production. We will be able to intervene in all of these areas. And
Honorable Minister, as you have that hope, and you're hopeful that you'll be able to handle this, that's one more reason why we need to know the needs of each place. We need to know the needs of Hoima, Toroko, Soroti, Kamwenge, so that we know what we are going to spend on. You will find even Serere, where the minister comes from, is also asking. So we need to know all the needs so that we are able to budget properly. Now that there is a loan there and we are going into a budgeting process. So we need to have that information.
Thank you for the guidance. On the issue of mandate clash with the Ministry of Water, we are trying to harmonize this. It's been there, as you know, for much, it goes back, differences in who does what. Cabinet has directed that the Vice President resolves the matter with us and the Ministry of Finance. I have hope, Madam Speaker, that we shall resolve this, and yes. Okay, I can take as many as the Speaker allows. Yeah.
What clarification do you people need?
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for allowing me. And the Honorable Minister, thank you very much for giving way. Right Honorable Speaker, the clarification I'm seeking from the Honorable Minister is he has said that we have a hope, the loan is being processed, and you have mentioned something very clear and very critical, needs assessment. Is this loan going to help to address the needs assessment? Because it is already being brought. It's brought on which terms? Is it therefore taking cognizance of the needs that we are talking about? That's one. Two, you have mentioned on issue of mechanization unit.
Maybe on one first, before government applies for a loan,
Yeah.
you always do a preliminary
Exactly.
needs assessment,
Exactly.
and that is the basis of the loan. But now, what we want to know, what we want the committee to do is to go from one district to the other district, so that it will help.
Right, Honorable, thank you very much. I think that will enrich. If the road could also address those findings, then it would be perfect. Madam Speaker, the minister has alluded to the fact that he has a very operational mechanization unit, which is very okay. And has talked of the farm access roads. I want to know, how does that mechanization unit work? Because at one time, we asked for a unit. For the last 4 years, we have never gotten a reply. Who benefits from such? Who benefits from such a unit? How do we access such services from that unit? How is it being operationalized at your ministry? Thank you.
James, I want you to separate the road units from the agricultural mechanization units.
Right, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. We have farms, and we asked as a district to the Minister of Agriculture.
Okay.
But it is for farm access, and that unit was purposely meant for that, as he has mentioned. But how do we access it? Because it seems it is a preserve of the few Ugandans, and we want to know how do we as other Ugandans access it.
It is for all Ugandans. There
I
are no
want
few
it from him.
Ugandans. There are no. Yes, Black.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I want to congratulate you, Madam Speaker. I wanted the Honorable Minister, through you, Madam Speaker, I wanted the Honorable Minister to clarify on an issue of irrigation that is put at the district. Madam Speaker, we all know that irrigation and water for the dams, it's all water for production. But you find that water that is put at the district level, they are charging a lot of money from our poor people. They are telling our people to pay per acre 1 million. When the Honorable Minister came to the committee, I asked him and he said, that is Ministry of Finance. Now, Right Honorable Speaker, what pains me is which is which. What does the Ministry of Finance do? What does the Ministry of Agriculture do? Because our people are suffering and there is no help. And even to think about, we need to be thinking about, like you said, Madam Honorable Speaker, we should think about the cattle corridor. Because for us in Bunyoro, and mostly in Buganga East, we are water stressed. Our animals are dying, our production is now going low, our crops are destroyed because when it comes to a season of dry season, our crops are no more. We cannot harvest, we don't have what to do, and irrigation has become for who is who. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I just wanted clarification from the Honorable Minister. Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, you will first clarify what has been said, but what the Minister of Finance does is to collect money, agriculture is to provide water.
Madam Speaker and colleagues, thank you. I understand the pressure for water for production. The project is called U-Gift. It's a basket donor fund. It has money for health infrastructure. It has money for water infrastructure, the program she's talking about, schools. So this basket was negotiated by Ministry of Finance, and the disbursements are from finance directly to the districts. So I think when they were negotiating, part of the loan conditions was that the beneficiaries of the irrigation technologies on farm should contribute 25%. That's purely a loan condition, not our domestic policy. And I think the Ministry of Finance weighed other advantages and took it up.
There's a procedural matter.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I am constrained, but allow me raise this, whether we are proceeding rightly. Because when Honourable Boka brought in the issue of bringing a comprehensive report to cover the whole country, so that we will have a debate that will provide solution.
Comprehensive debate.
Yes, a comprehensive debate that will provide a comprehensive solution. You guided that the committee goes and does extra work. And therefore, we did not proceed to have a debate over which the minister can have comprehensive responses. Therefore, I am in dilemma whether we are proceeding right to have this debate and engagement with the Honourable Minister when there are other issues which we have not yet raised. Right Honourable Speaker, I seek for your guidance. Thank
you, Honourable. She used to be my chairperson of the Committee of Presidential Affairs. My chair, we are proceeding very, very well. For one reason, we need to get action taking reports on this to form a basis of all of the other reports. We are going to adopt this report. After adopting this report, the committee is going, we have already ordered a committee. That committee go and bring a comprehensive report for the whole country. We have for two regions now, two sub-regions. We have for two sub-regions who will adopt this, and this will form a basis. And after adopting this report, I expect the minister with his team to go on ground and see whether what the committee is reporting is really correct, and then take an action. We need an action, not lamentations. Honorable members, in the public gallery this afternoon, we have the staff members of Nyakivale Upper Primary School in Rukungiri District. They are represented in Parliament by Honorable Rutahigwa Elisha. He's the tallest man in the house and very active. Very active doctor, thank you. And Honorable Natukunda Medias. Where is Medias? Medias is a nice girl there. She's one of our little girls, but very active. The people of Rukungiri bring back our people. We are comfortable with them. I want to thank you so much, honorable members. Now, you don't have the locus to discuss of this. Let them bring a report from Tororo, bring a report from yeah. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, honorable members. I now put a question that the report of the Sectoral Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-region to assess the water for agricultural production facilities be adopted by this House with amendments. Those in favor stand the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Minister, we expect a report from you on actions taken on those dams you're just throwing there, and they are killing our cows. Honorable members, you know, the problem is for you people, you sit here for 2 minutes, you go out, come back, and then me who is sitting here from the time I come, and you come on procedure, I therefore adjourn the house to 2 tomorrow.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
107.3 Kampala, 96.9 Mbale, 95.7 Jinja, 98.6 Soroti. You are all covered.
UBC Butego.
Yikwa dola wini kune. Asoka mulio. Atekeri na itesa ibija sesi.
UBC Butego.
Giver of life, Alpha without Omega. I am Africa.
Hail to Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, a land with the world's most beautiful, captivating features. Hills, mountains and valleys, the enigmatic animal species in the wild. A land where Africa is condensed into one small country with authentic endowment of nature and perfect safari. Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, is without the crowds with abundant primates, wildlife and stunning scenery. Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, takes you beyond the guidebooks, the known features, and gives you the insights unmatched. Keep it UBC TV, where we inspire Uganda with authentic beauty and nature of our motherland. Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Discover the fountain.
107.3 Kampala, 96.9 Mbale, 95.7 Jinja, 98.6 Soroti. You are all covered.
UBC Butego.
Yikwa dola wini kune. Asoka mulio. Atekeri na itesa ibija sesi.
UBC Butego.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
MTN Momo Pay is the easy way to pay. Dial *165*3# or use the MTN Momo app. You don't need cash. MTN Momo Pay is safe and free.
The East African Community